tiesitkö muuten, että Ahvenanmaalla tapahtuu tosi isoja asioita? Siellä on siis Ahvenanmaan suurin TV-tuotanto ja videotuotantostudio avattu. Mä pääsin ihailemaan sitä paikkaa ja siitä itse asiassa aikaisemmassa jaksossa. Jos et ole katsonut, niin kannattaa ehdottomasti katsoa. Ja sit muuten, jos et ole vielä tilannut kanavaa, niin please klikkaa kanavatilaukseen. Siitä on meille niin älyttömän paljon hyötyä ja me ollaan niin onnellisia aina kun me saadaan uusi tilaaja. Ja siis jos tykkäät videosta, niin paina peukkuu, koska sekin highly appreciated. Ja ylipäätään, että sä oot siellä, niin kiitos ihan valtavan paljon. Sä oot aivan huipputyyppi ja meille todella tärkeä. Mutta asiaan. Me oltiin Micken kanssa Luvid Filmin studiolla keskustelemassa erilaisia videojuttuja ja puhuttiin siis tosi paljon siitä, että minkälaisia eroja on ahvenanmaalaisessa videotuotannossa ja täällä Manner-Suomella tehdyissä videotuotannoissa ja mitä kannattaa ottaa huomioon, kun perustetaan yritystä ja kaikkea tämmöistä mielenkiintoista juttua. Me tehtiin tämmönen pieni video show, talk show. Mä pistän tähän, se on englanniksi, toivottavasti ymmärrät englantia ja katso ihmeessä, toivottavasti pidät ja ei muuta kuin nauha pyörimään.
Hey Henkka, come on in.
How's it going?
Yeah, great.
That's all right. So we've known for 2-3 years.
Yeah, something like that.
3 years.
Yeah, 3 years.
Yeah, and when I met you for the first time, you were just starting, and you had your YouTube channel, which I thought was fantastic.
Thank you very much. Same back at you. It's you inspired me to vlog, so that was really fun times.
Cool.
Yeah.
And you've been making videos full time for what, 3 years?
Yeah, about 3 years. I knew you a little bit before, so maybe we've known each other for like 4 years, something like that, maybe. But I started my company about 3 years ago in the middle of Corona, which was pretty interesting. But I did it, and I'm still alive and kicking, and I'm really grateful for that.
It feels like I'm in a room with a celebrity because I've seen your videos like for probably 100 times, and I've seen you talk to the camera, and now I'm here with you. It's like I'm totally starstruck.
Well, so right back at you. It's same for me.
Cool. But yeah, we work with Revo Film mainly in the capital region in Finland, in the Fastlande.
Yeah, mainland.
Mainland, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
And you've been working a little all around Finland with TV productions.
Yeah.
So, but your main job is here in Åland.
Yeah.
So, how is there like a difference working in the Fastland and Åland?
Yeah, it's a big difference. It's a really big difference, actually. You can tell in the way that clients, when they order stuff from you, you want a production that's maybe not in the same quality as you'd expect in Helsinki or Stockholm, maybe.
Because we only shoot best quality.
Yeah, you do. Yeah, but I'd say that the biggest difference is that Åland is such a small community, so we don't have maybe the bigger clientele or the bigger productions that comes here and want to do big stuff. We don't have that. We have like smaller productions. We have live streams. We do a lot of football, and we do trotting, horses, stuff like that. So yeah.
But I sort of feel like it's easy to underteckna.
Sign on.
Sign under.
Sign
anyway,
on.
That this is kind of a smaller community. I remember like the first time I was to Åland as a grown-up, and I drove out from the boat,
and somebody stopped me and asked me something, and we stuck there for like 5, almost 10 minutes just talking. Then I drove straight to the shop, because the grocery store, because I had to buy some food, and I went there. There was a small line, but I got to the cashier, and she was like, "Hey, I haven't seen you here before. Where are you from?" And we were talking like for almost 10 minutes there too. And there was a long line behind me. In Helsinki, if you stop to say hello, people will start poking you in the back, like, get on with it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm from Sweden from the start, and when I moved here, it was like, I think it was 2 or 3 years I lived here, and then a guy came up to me in the shop that I was working in, and he was like, "I know your father." And I was like, "Oh no, you don't. You have no idea what my father is." But that's sort of because he knew my last name, and Sjöberg is a pretty usual last name here. So he was certain that, he knew my father.
I'm sure he thought it was Peter Lindgren, the way you talk.
Oh yeah, probably.
Yeah, and how you look.
Yeah, how I look, absolutely. Yeah, exactly.
So it's a tight community and smaller productions, sort of. You were doing TV shows, TV productions in the mainland. So it sounds like it's a big difference, like doing a big TV show in the fast land, and then comparing with a small live stream in Åland.
Yeah. Obviously, we had a big TV a film that was based here, which was
Stormskärs Maja. Better go check it out.
Yeah, it's a great movie. It's
Micke basically shot it.
I didn't shoot it. Let's get that clear. No, I was a grip during that production, which was really, really fun. It was really good, and it's one of the biggest productions in Finland in many years. So,
and you basically shot it.
You basically shot it. Yeah, absolutely.
For me, I've never done or been in a TV production, and I honestly don't quite know what a grip does. What does a grip do?
Basically, a grip is the person that makes the camera move, you could say. So if the camera needs to go on a track, on a dolly, or on a crane, or just sticks, or a slider, or anything, the grip is the one to set that up for the camera operator or DOP.
Cool.
So,
He basically shot Stormskärs Maja.
Yeah, basically. I take all credit.
Yeah, that's really cool.
All the best people are working as grips, I've heard.
I totally agree.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're here in Luvid Film studio.
Yep.
And what is Luvid, basically?
Luvid is a collaborative creative agency, I'd say. It's we're 3 people basically that consist of 3 different freelancers within the film industry. We have different expertise. We have one who is more geared toward directing, and he's also doing a lot of sound design and mixing and stuff like that. And then we have one who is more like the maybe DOP or cinematographer. That's like his main, and he's doing a lot of editing too. And then we have me, who's like, I'm also a DOP, you could say, cinematographer, but I do like basically everything. I do audio, I do editing, I do grip stuff, I do everything, I could say. So we complement each other in different ways. Everyone can do basically everything, but we are working together in different ways.
You're the only one that is best at everything.
Yeah, absolutely. No, the people that... No, but actually the people that I'm working with, both David and Lucas, are really, really good at what they do, and they've taught me so much about the film industry, and they've let me grow in many, many ways with like inviting me into this Luvid and making me come along on different work types and teaching me different kind of techniques. And since I'm really hungry for like knowledge. I've been scouring the internet and reading books and stuff about cinematography, for example, and also GRIP stuff. But it's a combination of like learning from them and learning from self-thought. So yeah,
that's so cool. I think that the best way to learn new things and get better is to hook up with people who are smarter than you. That's what I did.
Yeah, and it's not really that difficult for me.
Yeah.
To hook up with people that's smarter than me. That's just, I can just walk down the street and just, yeah, you'll do. That's perfect. Everyone's smarter than me.
It's very important to stay humble. Yes.
Stay humble. Absolutely.
So basically, Luvid seems like a pretty big collaboration in small land.
Yeah, if you take it in relationship with like the size of Åland, it's only like 30,000 people here, so it's like a really small town in Finland, maybe not even a town sometimes, but it's a very small community, and we are, you could say like we are the biggest production company here regarding film. And commercials and documentaries and stuff like that. So we are kind of the go-to guys here, but still we're trying to up the game now with renting this place and doing like a serious studio thing. But because the film studio thing hasn't been a thing on Åland at all before this. So I think it's really cool to be able to provide it.
That's so cool. They're like the pioneers of film production in Åland. Yeah. But you have like, all of you guys have been working with TV productions, movie productions?
Yeah, more or less, yeah. I'd say that Lucas is probably the one that's been doing the most, because he's been in a lot of Swedish reality series shows like Arga Snickaren and stuff like where they build stuff and be angry.
Because you all know Arga Snickaren.
Arga Snickaren.
Arga Snickaren.
Arga Snickaren, yeah, stuff like that. He's done lots of stuff in Stockholm, and he's like the most experienced one out of us, and he's been doing like different types. He's been electrician, like doing the light stuff, and also audio and sound stuff.
That's so cool, because when I met Micke, I did the electrician's vlog on YouTube.
Oh yeah.
But I knew nothing about cameras, pretty much. So I looked up to you a lot, and I've learned so much from you. And to hear that you're working with people who you've learned so much from, it's like, it's amazing.
Yeah, but it really is, and I think it's fantastic how you can see like the self-development that you go through, with everything, and I see that in you as well. Like how you've grown as a really good filmmaker now, and you do have a really good grasp and concept about how to make film happen. And like I've always been envious of you, because I think that you have such a creative mind about how you can do stuff, and a really good storyteller.
But is it with everybody? Because I feel like everything I do is totally utter shit. And I feel like everybody says the same thing.
Yeah.
Like if you tell a video producer that you're so good at this and your color grading is so amazing, everybody goes like, it's just shit.
Yeah. But I think in this industry you have to, like, most people are really humble too. And I do think that most people actually think less of themselves. And especially in this industry where you can see people that they're so talented at what they do. Just take up your phone and look at that reel, and the production value of that reel is like crazy. It's stupidly crazy good. And then you sit like, I would never be able to do this. I'm such a worthless like cinematographer or gaffer or whatever you want to call it. But yeah, exactly. Sad, but no, but
sad but true.
Sad but true. But yeah,
no, it's not.
There's always like people who's more talented than you, but you can always learn from it, I think, and that's where, like with this type of business, you never stop learning, never, and that's such an amazing thing, I think.
Yes. And I think it's important to be humble, but it's also important to have some sort of acknowledgement of your own talents.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Just to stay sane on some level.
Yeah. Absolutely. You do need that a confirmation. I suppose you could call it. Like you do need to hear that you're doing some things right, and sometimes for me at least I can really feel it in my chest that this is good. This is really good.
Yeah.
And then it like most of the times it's pretty good. Like maybe you hype it a little bit in your mind, but you know what I mean. Like sometimes you really do get that feeling that you're doing something good.
Yeah, so true. About experience, you said about growing your experience and getting better and bigger. Yeah. With experience, also the size of the camera seems to grow a bit. Yeah. Have you noticed?
Yeah, absolutely. I've stepped up my game a little bit, even though this is an older camera, the EVA one. It's a really good camera. The first camera that I got was a GH5, a more serious camera. I had a Fujifilm before that, but the GH5 was sort of the entrance level for me in regards of video recording and stuff like that. And in many ways, this camera is very similar to the GH5. It's much bigger, but you have such a great control about like how you film. This is really made for filming stuff, and you can really tell that when using the camera.
And the colors and the dynamics on this thing is wild.
It's really good. It's really good, and I think that as a filmmaker today, you don't have to have the greatest or latest gear to be able to make a living or do what you love and work as a freelance videographer or something like that. The only thing that you actually need is a camera that's like reasonable.
Yeah.
And still buying a GH5 or A7 III or whatever camera you can find, it doesn't matter brand, but you know, just try to focus more on the story and what you're filming instead of the gear. But this camera has been really good for a couple of reasons. First off is the internal ND filters, which was a game changer for me. Which
I don't have in the FX3.
Yeah, and it's a shame. Like, it really makes you sort of take faster decisions. You know, if you need to change the lens on the camera, you don't need to screw off the filter, put it down, you change the lens, then you screw it on again. You just take off the lens, put on another, and then you just go. And just with, like for example, with this one, I'm using only the Sigma 18-35 for most of my work because it covers like the most what I need and use. And I rarely change the lens on this camera anyway. So maybe I could do with like a screw-on filter, but for me at least, it's been a really good like time saver.
Yeah.
And also, like the ergonomics of a camera like this is such a different way of working. Instead of having a small camera in your hand, it can be pretty shaky. You know, when you have a light camera, it's pretty shaky. But with this one, it's really heavy. It doesn't even have any internal stabilization, but it doesn't need it. Like you can put it on a shoulder rig, use it like this, and you have everything in reach. Everything that you need is like in reach with the camera. So the ergonomics is also a key point for this camera to be my main camera.
And when I look at it, I don't know how much do you build up on it? Like what kind of a rig do you usually have on it?
Like usually it's not much more than this. I have a shoulder pad, you could say. Sometimes I add a V-mount battery in the back if I want a monitor or something like that. But most of the times I use this EVF that's on it already. So it's with a bigger camera like this one, you don't need to rig it out as much as you do with a smaller camera to get like maybe more production ready camera. I can make do with a small, yeah.
It's not about the size.
It's not about the size, yeah.
No, actually it is about the size.
It is about the size, and that's maybe the last thing that kind of made me want to buy this camera, because when you get to a client and you start to unpack your camera and you start to unpack your gear, they naturally go, look, what camera is that? Like, it's really big and it looks cool. Stuff like that really gives your client an impression about you as a filmmaker, even though it's not something that you should aim for, having a big camera, but it does leave an impression on the clients.
So size does matter after all.
Sometimes it does, yeah.
I just said on the last video that size doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Totally have to take it back.
No, but this is just my opinion. So I might be wrong, I might be semi-right, but yeah.
No, but it's true about the weight especially, because I usually build my FX3 a lot bigger. I have batteries, monitors, different handles to get it more, to have more weight on it so that it's more stable to use, and it takes a lot of time. So basically having a camera where you only need to throw in a battery and a SD card and start shooting, it's so much faster.
Yeah, it is. It is.
Can I just ask you one more thing?
Yeah.
What's your three tips? What's your three tips for somebody who wants to be a video producer?
I'd say that just like given, I guess that you have an interest for video already, but just be open for learning new things, which is a really, really important thing in this profession. You really need to learn new things. Even when you've worked in this field for a long time, you need to learn new things all the time. So be curious, that's the first thing. Also, don't be afraid to work for free in the beginning, because that's how I got into and got a lot of jobs down the road. I know that it can be, it can seem a little bit scary in the beginning, but that's also the way that you learn and the way that you gain experience in the field. And lastly, I'd say don't focus on the gear, because you can always buy new gear, you can always have the latest and coolest stuff, but people won't be actually looking at the gear that you're using. They are looking at what you're doing, and most of people doesn't even care about the gear that you use. So
except if you have an EVA, then everybody will care.
Yeah, everybody will. Yeah, you'll get every job.
Yes.
If you have a camera like that.
So if you want to work as a video producer, get an EVA. That'll get you the job. Muista tilata. Kan du säga det på finska?
Muista tilata.
Muista tilata kanava.
Muista tilata kanava.
Yeah. Hey, thank you so much for having me here. Micke Sjöberg, you should definitely check out his YouTube channel if you ever post new videos. Yeah. And even if you didn't, there's so many good tips on how to become a better video producer and what camera to get and stuff.
Thank you, yeah.
But yeah, thank you so much. And muista tilata kanava. See, wasn't that hard?
No, wasn't that hard. I know Finnish.
Thank you, Duolingo.
Yeah, exactly.
Ihan mielettömän iso kiitos Mickelle siitä, että mä sain julkaista tämän meidän kanavalla. Oli siis aivan huippuhauska ilta ja tosi hauskaa jutella Micken kanssa näistä asioista. Toivottavasti sä tykkäsit ja kiitos kun oot katsonut videon loppuun asti. Jos et ole vielä tilannut kanavaa, niin pistä ihmeessä tilaukseen. Ja muuten, ei muuta kuin todos bien y adios amigos ja näin eteenpäin. Heippa! Ja hei, jos haluat tilata Micke Sjöbergin kanavan, niin me laitetaan tuohon linkki alle. Tuliks Micke nyt mun selän taakse? Ja hei, jos et ole vielä tilannut Micke Sjöbergin kanavaa, niin paina ehdottomasti... Hei. Ja hei, jos et ole vielä pistänyt Micke Sjöbergin kanavaa tilaukseen, niin... Jos et ole vielä tilannut Micke Sjöbergin kanavaa, niin... Yes. Hei, ja jos et ole vielä tilannut Micke Sjöbergin kanavaa, niin kannattaa